Hello and welcome back to my channel and to a new video. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. If you're new here, my name is Nicola and I make lifestyle videos, and today I've got just a bit of a catch up for you. I haven't even got a cup of tea. That was silly, wasn't it? I should have made that first. I've got a little Primark haul for you. Some bits that I bought actually a good probably 6 weeks ago now, but haven't had a chance to show you. Just some home decor, autumny bits. That I got in Primark. I did buy some clothes on the day as well. It's when Phoebe and I went to Birmingham in the holidays, and we went to the world's biggest Primark and had a look round, and I did buy some clothes, but I tried them on when I got home and they were definitely no good, so I didn't keep any of them. So I haven't got those to show you, but I have got the autumny bits, so I'll show you those. And I just thought I would catch you up on my walk that I did. So I did share on my Instagram some video. In fact, if I move over here, I'll put it here so you can see the walk that we did. So if you're not already aware, I did a video a couple of weeks ago explaining that. So last year I did the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge as part of the public sector challenge. So for those who work in or work with the public sector, are invited to take part in a challenge each year, or they do one or two challenges. So we did the Yorkshire Three Peaks last year, and then this year we did the Peak Pursuit Challenge. So it was 26 miles through the Peak District, and I thought, and I was right probably, that it would be easier than the Three Peaks. And yes, it was in many respects easier. However, it was still really tough. It was a long day. I had trained a lot more in the gym. So since the new year, I've been doing a lot of weights and working on my leg strength, because that's what I struggled with last year, getting up the mountains. Uphill is just definitely a struggle for me. Walking on the flat, downhill, no problem. Uphill, not so much. So I had been working on that. I hadn't done as many long walks this year as I did last year in training for this. And definitely that didn't seem to matter. The distance for me wasn't a problem. I have done, previous to the Yorkshire Three Peaks last year, that was 24 miles, but I had done 4 marathon walks before that. So I'd done the moon walk 3 times, and I'd done a mighty hike, the Macmillan mighty hike once. So I've now done 6 marathon walks over the last 20 or so years, I guess. No, probably even less than that, hang on. Probably 15 years. So yeah, and this year it was tough, and I still struggled with the hills, so I'm going to keep training my legs harder over the next year in preparation for next year, because last year after the Yorkshire Three Peaks I said absolutely never again, I'm not doing another one. However, this year I'm looking forward to next year, so it was obviously better. We started a little bit later. We started at 7 in the morning and walked through the countryside. The first tour was called Mam Tour, and we walked up that quite early in the day, and that was the highest hill. So we got over and done with within the first hour and a half, and I actually felt it was hard going up, and I was definitely slow, but I wasn't the slowest, and I think that helped this year. Last year we had a smaller group like in our work that went, and I was by far the slowest, and I felt like I was holding everyone up, and that was quite stressful and difficult because I didn't want people to have to wait for me, but they didn't want to leave me on my own, and you know, so whereas this time we were a much bigger group, and we were sort of in three or 4 blocks. So there was a really fast group, and I was sort of in the middle one, and then there was some slower. So I felt mentally fine the entire time, and we all, like, you know, kept each other going up the hills. But that first hill we got out of the way quite quickly, and then the others were all fine. Slow at times, obviously I struggled to get up the hills, but nothing that I felt was too much until we got to the last one. So we were about 4.5 miles from the finish. Bearing in mind, you know, we've already walked 22 miles, so you're feeling pretty tired. And I knew several people had said the last hill was tough. It was really steep. It was the steepest one, but it was quite short. So we got to it, and I thought that, like, you could see, like, we're basically going through the woods, and it was this really steep, like these big steps going up. And my colleague Gareth was with me, and he was like, come on, we'll go to the next clearing, and then we'll have a break, and then we'll go to the next one, and then we'll have a rest. And we got to the top of that and I thought that was it, and then up above us was this like mountain going up, and I was like, oh my god, I don't think I can do this. But I just put my head down and I did like 10 steps, had a rest, 10 steps, had a rest, and eventually just made it to the top, and it was really good. The views throughout the walk were incredible. You would have seen in the little video, but we've done a lot of walking in the Lake District, but I've never really been to the Peak District, and I didn't realise how beautiful it was. So we'd always thought when Phoebe finishes school we might move to the lakes, but now we're considering maybe the Peak District might be a better option because it's not quite so far north. So yeah, it was just amazing discovering that part of the world, really, and it's so beautiful. So if you live there, you're very lucky. And yeah, so we got to the end. My friend Claire and I finished together at about 7 p.m, just before 7 p.m, so we took 12 hours. Obviously we had lots of breaks and stops for lunch and things like that along the way, so it wasn't like constantly walking for 12 hours, but we never stopped for more than 15-20 minutes before we moved on. And then Colin Jackson presented our medals at the end, which was lovely. I have actually met Colin Jackson before. He opened a sports centre that I worked at, and I had met him before, but he won't have remembered me. But we had our picture taken with Colin Jackson, we got our medals, so this is my medal. So I can put that along with my one from last year, and then hopefully I'll get another one next year. So for anyone who sponsored me, there were a few people, very kind people, who follow me on here, who sponsored me for the walk. So thank you so much. The money all goes to the British Heart Foundation and Cancer Research UK. If you still want to sponsor me, you can do. I'll leave the link below, just in case. But yeah, thank you to anyone who already has. So yeah, that's my news. I've spent the last few days sort of recovering. I did do a workout this morning. I did upper body though, not legs. I'll leave those till Friday. We'll give them a week of rest. But I've done some stretches and a few dog walks and things. And in fact, actually on Saturday when I came home, so we stayed in the Peak District on Friday night. The walk was on Friday. Yeah, stayed Friday night, came home Saturday morning. Andrew had to go out to collect some Lego from Stafford, so he was gone for 2 or 3 hours. So I came home, I did the food shop, I unpacked it, I cleaned and tidied, I cleaned the bathrooms, I did the washing. I just kept going, mopped the floors. And I didn't actually really sit down until about probably 7 in the evening after we'd had dinner, and literally within half an hour of sitting down I completely seized up. So I think that was probably the right thing to do, to just keep moving. And then on Sunday we had an easy-ish day, but I did keep moving. I went to Leicester with Phoebe because she had a dance class, and just walked a bit around there, and she wanted to do some shopping afterwards, and we were mooching around the shops, and that was too much. Just that slow sort of walking around the shops was too much. I said, I've had enough, I need to go home. I was tired as well. So yeah, but then by Monday I was feeling all right, really, so fully recovered now. So yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to do one of these walks, I can thoroughly recommend it. The camaraderie, I mean, obviously we did it as a team, but even if you did it on your own, there are so many people there that you can chat to. A few times I was chatting to random strangers that I had happened to be walking with, and yeah, there's that just wonderful sense of teamwork and camaraderie, and everyone working towards the same goal. And you know, all the ones I've done before, I've done some just with like one friend, like some of the moon walks. I think the first one there was 4 or 5 of us, and then I think 4 on the second one, and there's me and one other in the third one I did. And then the Macmillan Mighty Hike, I did it with my family, with my sisters and our sons, so there were 6 of us on that one. And then yeah, so it's just a lovely thing to work towards and to feel like you've achieved something, I guess, at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my weekend. So thank you anyone who's sponsored me, and if you still want to, you can, the link's in the bio. So let's just quickly show you then the few little bits that I bought. In fact, I've also bought this. So I went to TK Maxx. No, I didn't. I went to HomeSense. When did I go? Might have been last week. I can't remember. Anyway, I picked up a candle. I felt like I haven't really bought that much autumn stuff this year, which is probably not a bad thing. I have a lot. It will be pumpkin time this weekend. I'm going to decorate this weekend because I think certainly it's miserable today. Sorry if this video is a bit dark, but I'm really looking forward to sort of switching out this stuff. This is my new unit in my office, by the way, which I'm really happy with. So yeah, I'm going to switch out some of this stuff and put some autumny stuff up, and get my pumpkins out at the weekend. But I got just a few bits. So I did buy, I think I'd shown previously, I bought some little straw pumpkins in TK Maxx. So those I bought previously, and then I bought this candle. It's just spiced. Oh, are you going to focus? Focus on the candle and not on me. There we go. It's just spiced pumpkin. And then I actually noticed it's actually got this cute lid on it, which is very nice. There we go. And then on the underside of the lid, it actually has the notes. So it's oatmeal and warm raisin cookies with pure molasses, creamy vanilla bean and brown sugar pumpkin. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? It does smell amazing. I bought this for my desk so I can have this lit. And I might even light it today because it is rainy and miserable outside and it feels quite cozy in here. So I think a candle would be quite nice. Might help me get motivated to do some work. So that's that. And then in Primark, they had some lovely bits actually. They had an awful lot in Primark compared to normal. I didn't buy loads, as I said, because I've got quite a lot already, and I just don't want to be spending loads of money. And so I bought these bits. So I bought a couple of these picks. I thought these ones were so lovely. I've got quite a lot of floral arrangements like these around the house with like eucalyptus. So I thought I could take out like the flowers and then put in the little pumpkins instead. These were just £1.80 and they are like this felt. My camera doesn't want to focus today for some reason. What's going on with you? There we go. They're this felt sort of slightly furry material, but so lovely. So I got those, and then I also got this one as well, which has a little acorn on it, and so slightly more of the orangey colours, and then it's got a little velvety pumpkin there. This one was also £1.80. Whoops, oh my god, that one's alive. So yeah, even together those would look quite nice in a little vase. But yeah, just bought those. And then I probably, oh my goodness, these pumpkins don't want to stay. They're falling on the floor. Right. Then I bought these, which I thought would be lovely to go. I mean, they're not potpourri, but they could go with a potpourri arrangement. I wanted to buy some bits from the range. There were so many lovely bits in there, but I just couldn't justify spending the money at the moment, so I didn't get anything extra. They'll come back next year. I'll get some more things next year. But I got this little bag. So it's got a couple of the little pumpkins like those ones on the picks. It's got a couple of gold pine cones and some little gold acorns, and then some sort of sagey coloured leaves. So I thought these would look quite nice in a bowl, on the table, or on my coffee table. These were £4.50. Came in this little organza bag. They don't smell of anything, so they're just for decoration. And then I'd looked a couple of times actually this weekend when I was out and about at tea towels, thinking, oh, I haven't bought any new tea towels. But clearly I have, because there were some in here and I'd completely forgotten that I bought them. But these are lovely. They were £5 for 2 tea towels, and you know, usually when you get tea towels you get one really nice one at the front and then the back ones are a bit rubbish, but these are 2 and they're both really nice. I'm going to take them actually off here. They were £5 for the 2, which is probably quite expensive for Primark, but actually I think they're worth it because they're really nice. So that's the front one with the little pumpkins on, and they're all embroidered on. And then the back one is a printed one, but it's got just these pumpkins all over. How nice is that? Really, that would make a really nice cushion, wouldn't it? See, if I was really creative, I could sew a cushion cover, couldn't I? It's not quite square. But yeah, that's really nice. I love that. I was considering getting some more duvet covers and things like that, but not this year. Next year I shall go all out and buy some new bits. I did sell some of my pumpkins actually last weekend. Is it last weekend? Yeah, not the one just gone, but the one before. We did a car boot sale. Phoebe and I went and did it, and so I sold some of my old pumpkins I don't really use anymore. The ones that I've had early on when I first started decorating for autumn, and yeah, they're not really my style anymore, so I sold them and they got snapped up. I had an old garland as well and they all got snapped up really quickly. I thought they would. The Halloween decorations, so I took a load of Halloween decorations because we don't really do Halloween anymore. Phoebe's a little bit older, although she would 100% continue to do Halloween. I think she's going to a Halloween party this year with some new friends at her new school, so she's into what she's going to wear and getting excited about that. But I said to her, she said about trick-or-treating, I said, I think you're a bit old. She'll be nearly 15 and I feel like trick-or-treating is more for little ones. I said, I think you're a bit old to be knocking on people's doors asking for sweets. But parties, yes, they're fine. So yeah, we got rid of some of our Halloween decorations, but they didn't go. So we ended up throwing those away. Or did we send them? I might send them to charity shop, I can't remember. But yeah, so that's really all the news. Phoebe, as I said, started her new school. She is 100% living her best life and loving every second of it. Last week they did, if you didn't already know, she's gone to a performing arts school in Birmingham, and last week they had a full week of musical theatre, which is the course she's doing, and they did a little show at the end, which I didn't get to go and see because I was walking up hills, but Andrew went and said it was really, really good, and I saw a little sneak peek of what they were doing on their Instagram, so I managed to see a little bit of it, and I saw her in the background, so that was good. I did share it on my Instagram, so if you follow me you may have seen it. And yeah, she's loved it. She was a bit apprehensive going for the first day, but she absolutely loved it. And then normal lessons have started this week, so she's actually starting her work for GCSEs and things like that. So she's loving it. She likes all her teachers. I just felt, I mean, this is going back many years, but when Archie went to secondary school, we applied for a school in Northampton. We weren't living in Northampton, we were living a little bit further away, about half an hour away, and we applied for a school in Northampton because we felt it was the right school for him and he liked it, and we'd always had our eye on it, and it is a really good school. It's a boys' school in Northampton, and we actually moved house so that he could go there. So once he got a place, we actually moved here so that he could go to that school, which is, you know, quite a lot of pressure for a child to enjoy the school, but he loved it, and he even says now how much he loved his school and how much he misses it. And I just wanted the same for her, but we until now we haven't found that. The first school she went to just didn't work out. The second school she went to, where she's been since November, has been okay. We haven't hated it, it's been fine, but she felt she hasn't really found her people, and so we were hoping that this move would get her that she would enjoy going to school, that she wouldn't, up until now I felt like every time she comes out of school she's like, oh, how is school? Oh, boring, oh, rubbish. Whereas I never got that from Archie. He was like, loved it. And so far so good. Every day I picked her up from the train and she's like, I said, how was school? Yeah, really good, this. You know, I know it's early days, I know there will be days where she'll hate it, and you know, the train is a long journey. She's over 2 hours on the train each day, you know, an hour there and an hour back, and it's long days for her, but so far so good. She's loving it, so that's good. I'm happy about that. And that's, I think, all I've got to chat about. So I just thought I'd show you these little bits that I bought and say thank you for sponsoring me if you did, and I will film our autumn decorations at the weekend, and that will be next week's video, so you can look forward to that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.